Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping straight into, an incredible real-world challenge, a test of planning, tech,
Yeah.
and just sheer nerve. So, picture it. London. It's a Tuesday, raining, late afternoon, about 3:37 p.m., and the call comes in. There's this critical confidential contract. Has to get from Canary Wharf, way out in the east, all the way over to Knightsbridge in West London.
And the clock is ticking.
Exactly. They've got just 60 minutes. A multi-million-pound deal hangs entirely on this one delivery. Get it wrong, the whole thing collapses. Now, anyone who knows London knows 3:37 p.m. on a Tuesday, especially a rainy one. That's just gridlock,
Yeah.
pure peak traffic.
Yeah, it's not a trivial distance either.
No, it's 9.6 miles, straight through the guts of central London. I mean, on the face of it, it just sounds, undoable.
It really does.
Yeah.
But that's what makes this so interesting, right? This deep dive, it's all about how this company, SMA Worldwide, actually managed it. So our mission really is to unpack that. Look at the planning, the tech they used, some pretty advanced stuff, and, the human skill involved. Because failure wasn't just an option, it would have had huge financial consequences
Right.
for their client. Massive.
So the big question we're asking today, for you listening, is how do you pull off the impossible when literally every single second is vital?
Ah,
Okay, so let's really get into the weeds of this challenge. This wasn't just any package. It's a high-value, legally sensitive document. Needs hand-to-hand delivery, total security, zero room for mistakes. And that 60-minute window, almost 10 miles,
Yeah.
London traffic, pouring rain. The margin for error was, basically non-existent. You've got legal teams, clients, bosses, all just waiting,
Absolutely. And what's really fascinating is despite that pressure, that ticking clock, they couldn't afford to rush the planning. It had to be incredibly efficient, though. The ops team, they kicked into gear immediately, started drafting this minute-by-minute plan. It kicked off with this super detailed route analysis, not just, Google Maps shortest route. No. Their system used live GPS, of course, but it also layered in predictive traffic modeling, so they could actually anticipate jams before they happened.
Wow.
Yeah, using historical data, what's happening right now, even the weather. They were hunting for the genuinely fastest route, constantly recalculating, not just shortest.
That's like having a traffic crystal ball for London.
Yeah.
Okay, so they nailed down the optimal route. What's the very next step in this rapid-fire strategy?
Courier assignment, straight away. And again, not just who's closest? They picked one of their top van couriers, someone who really knows London streets inside out, those little back routes, and crucially, someone trained in high security procedures. Then the security itself. The document goes in this special case, waterproof, tamper-proof, courier ID verified, strict signatures needed at both ends, complete chain of custody.
Okay, so it's definitely not just a mad dash. It's speed, yes, but wrapped in this layer of security and serious accountability. But London traffic, it's famously chaotic.
Right.
What about the unexpected? A sudden road closure, an accident? How do you plan for that?
Contingency planning, that was key. They had backup routes, several of them, already mapped out, ready to go instantly if the main route got blocked. And beyond the routes, communication was huge. Updates scheduled for the client every 15 minutes. Pre-agreed contacts at both ends.
Okay.
Plus, the client could actually see the courier's location live on a tracking link. Total transparency, real-time visibility for everyone involved.
That sounds like an incredible amount of prep work, especially under pressure. But what really makes SMA Worldwide different here? Honestly, doing this in central London, that time frame, that weather, it feels like there has to be more than just good planning, like a secret ingredient.
Oh, there definitely is. A big part of it is that expert courier network they have. These aren't just random drivers. They are specialists, trained specifically for these urgent high-security jobs right across London. Their knowledge of the city, the shortcuts, how traffic flows at different times, even how, a football match might affect things.
It's immense.
That local knowledge. Exactly. Deep human expertise. And then you combine that with truly dynamic live route management. We're talking about a system that's not just static, it's constantly optimizing, like a living map, crunching millions of data points every second, adapting to every traffic light change, every closed lane, bus lane hours. It means they're reacting, yes, but also being proactive based on those predictions we talked about.
And behind the human skill and that detailed planning, there must have been some serious tech involved, right? This isn't just standard sat-nav stuff, presumably.
Not at all. Technology was really the backbone that made the human precision possible. They used highly integrated live GPS tracking, not just for location, but for spitting out really accurate ETAs that factored in the live traffic. Digital proof of delivery meant instant, secure confirmation the second it arrived. Encrypted comms kept all the updates secure.
Makes sense.
But the real kicker was how their traffic and weather systems were directly linked into courier dispatch and that real-time road optimization. That's what allowed them to pivot so quickly. Think of it less like just following a map and more like having an intelligent co-pilot constantly figuring out the absolute fastest way, second by second. It frees up the courier to just focus on the driving and reacting.
Okay, so let's pull back a bit from this one specific, white-knuckle London delivery. What are the bigger lessons here for businesses in the UK, or really any organization?
Yeah, that's a really important point because a lot of businesses, I think, underestimate just how complex urgent deliveries can be. They might just go with a standard courier, someone not really equipped for something high stakes, or they don't think much about route planning, assuming speed is all down to the driver.
Right, just get it there fast.
Exactly. And then there's the risk of security breaches using insecure methods. The big lesson here is pretty stark, actually. When it's an emergency, your choice of delivery partner and how thorough their process is, it really, really matters. That cost of delay in a critical situation, it can just dwarf the cost of paying for a premium guaranteed service. It's really an investment in certainty, in managing risk, not just another expense.
And it's definitely not just about legal contracts, is it? This whole close enough just isn't good enough approach is vital everywhere. You think about law firms hitting court deadlines, finance teams submitting crucial tenders, medical reports needing urgent transfer, executives trying to close deals, even tech companies needing a critical server part replaced like now.
Exactly. The stakes are often incredibly high, even if it's not always framed as a multi-million-pound deal on a wet Tuesday afternoon. So what really seems to stand out again and again from this deep dive is that success under that kind of intense pressure, it's never just about speed, is it? It's this, seamless blend of thinking ahead strategically, using advanced tech smartly, not just basic stuff, and having real human expertise, all working together perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at the bigger picture, this whole case study, it really shines a light on all those hidden complex layers that sit underneath what looks like a simple delivery task. It just powerfully underlines that lesson. In those crunch moments for a business, the real cost of delay, the lost deal, the damaged reputation, the actual financial hit that can massively outweigh spending a bit more upfront for a specialized high assurance service. It's about building certainty when things feel very uncertain.
So maybe something for you, our listener, to think about as you go about your day. How could those principles of, let's call it strategic planning under pressure, things like really analyzing the path forward, having backup plans ready, keeping communication lines wide open, using tech for genuine precision, how could you apply those ideas to your own high-stakes situations, even if they've got nothing to do with London traffic jams, The core idea is about proactive planning, executing precisely, and valuing certainty. They seem pretty universal, don't they?